Hi guys, I'm Katie Room from Periapsis Press. I have not streamed for a while. I've been a little bit sick, but tired, a little bit too motivated. So this is me getting back into it. And while I was sick and tired and motivated, things happened. Actual fun indie news things happened that I wasn't on top of things fast enough to make decent news articles about. So I thought that it would be nice just to play a little catch up and go through them and give some attention to some of the cool stuff that's been going on in the indie sphere, specifically among books that I've reviewed or from authors that I've reviewed before. So what I'm just going to do is share my screen with you guys. We'll just go down the list of things that I've bookmarked on Twitter. Just today, I bookmarked this from Mark Engels, and hopefully I'll get around to writing an article about this. So I reviewed the Where Cats Emergent. There's the first one, and I have all of them. Actually, I have 2 copies of Where Cats Emergent, and so I'm excited that he's included in the sale. A group promo. So just see. Spring into Fantasy. And this promo ends May 16th. I'm already seeing stuff that I recognize. Names that I recognize. I haven't read anything here so far. There's Where Cats Emergent. I wish that I could just read everything, you guys. Was it Timo who was saying on Twitter that if he was just a reader, he would have time to read everything? Gave him a little bit of teased him a little bit for that, because boy, I wish that I could. Oh, there's that one. So that the one that I pointed out was actually one of the sequels. Where Cats Emergent is the first one. There's a lot of stuff in here. And I'm not sure if these are on sale or this is just like a group promo, or like what exactly the promotional mesh that weaves these together is. But it's always fun to see these kinds of groupings. Okay. You know what I should do? As long as I'm here and I'm doing this, I should pull it up. Where is it? There it is. So this is my website, and I've reviewed just the first one. I haven't read the others quite yet. And I call it a unique take on the concept of where creatures delivers fast-paced excitement in a clever urban fantasy world. I thought that the urban fantasy feel was nice, and I really liked the her uncle. So the main character is a teenage girl, but there's a secondary POV character who is an adult who is dealing with some of the more adult issues, and I felt that was a really compelling pairing. because it made the story feel less like it was just about like teenage things, romance and emotions and rebelling and that kind of thing, and more about the family. Yeah, family. That was the very next thing. Okay. Wrangler, hi. Thank you for coming. Oh yeah, if you're on the East Coast. We used to start at 10:30. So I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. Okay, so that was the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys. That just came out today. So, and he says being featured for the next 30 days. So that's fun. Next thing that I'm keeping an eye on, Paula Ritchie posted this April 13th. Penance was getting the new illustrated edition was on sale, so obviously I missed that. I need to be more proactive. Like I bookmarked it, but then like I didn't even like it, and I feel awful about that. Because Penance is another one that I really enjoyed. I've brought her up before as an excellent example of the sort of typical like Christian fiction requirement of having a conversion scene. Paula does a really wonderful job of having that moment take place off screen. There was a build up to it where you understand that this girl is going through stuff and is beginning to think about things in a spiritual way, right? Starting to think about God and her sin and stuff like that. But then like the actual work of the Holy Spirit, right? The miracle part, which is so difficult to make convincing, I think, in fiction, takes place off screen. We all know how it works, right? So when she came out and that had happened, the reader understood and didn't need that blow by blow, pray the prayer, like front row seat of that, to sort of detract from the actual action of the scene, which was aliens invading. So really, really great young adult superhero novel featuring superpowers, aliens, and extraterrestrial sex trafficking ring and the imminent invasion of Earth. I really enjoyed this. It was this cover is the old cover. I'm gonna double check, make sure. Yes. Because it was originally published by Silver Empire, and they're no longer around, unfortunately. Paula did a new cover and illustrations inside the book, and she's re-released it. So I encourage you guys to pick that up if you have not yet had an opportunity to read that. Michael Caine, hi. Yes. Hey, I'm trying. I feel like I just have to just bite the bullet and get on with it, right? Like I can't be sick forever. Hi, John Douglas. Thank you for coming. So yeah, I'm just going through the news stuff that I missed and feeling guilty about it, and just want to give an opportunity for people to see the stuff, even though maybe the sales are over or whatever. Like I still I still think they're worthwhile books, even full price. All right. So yeah, I feel bad about missing that. William Hastings, whose book, oh goodness, I want to say that the third book, yes, it is available, came out April 2nd. And I dropped the ball. I was I was fully intending to do a news thing and review the second one, but I've read the second one now, so I'm excited about that. And an upcoming review will be about the second one. But also cool, the Opal Embers, that's the second one. The audiobook is coming out in May. And then the Other Fellow Kickstarter will be in June. I don't know too much about the Other Fellow Kickstarter, but William Hastings is a good author, so I'm excited to see that. Let me just pull up my review of The Crimson Spark, which is the first one. And I will share with you some of my thoughts on that one. Dark fantasy. I really love the cover. And this is dark fantasy. Following young characters on their quest for freedom, hope, and healing, filled with, suspense, vivid action scenes, and rich themes. And it's an intense coming-of-age story. The main characters are children, and they have gone through some shit. So there are some dark elements. This is not like a kid's book, right? I don't know. And if you have like teenagers and you're wondering if it's like an appropriate book for YA, read it yourself first, because you know your kids. Suspenseful and vivid action, complex characters. The characters are really well realized, particularly the main pair, Leo and Nia. And then rich themes. These are particularly about victimization. If you have been victimized, do you have a responsibility, or do people have a responsibility to you? And I think that's really powerful. So yeah, I encourage you guys to check this out if you haven't. Opal Embers, I probably didn't like quite as much as I liked The Crimson Spark. I feel that it got a little bit down in the weeds of the characters. I didn't necessarily feel that I needed more exploring of their feelings, but there was a lot of that, and it I'll just say it got a bit Catholic for me. But it was still a very good book. So not trying to turn people away by saying those things. John, did I answer your question about what we were talking about? I'm just I'm going through the things that I bookmarked from indie authors that I've reviewed, at least one of their works that in the past 2 months that I've been out and just feeling guilty about it and trying to promote their stuff after the fact. So yeah, I'm playing catch up. Okay, there is this indie sale, or was, I should say, April 1st through 3rd. And I think let me just double check. They do, I feel like they do them Yeah, there's still like there's one going on right now. Let's see if I can get. Yeah, here we go. Indie April sale. And I know someone is in this, and that's why I bookmarked it. We'll see if I recognize somebody's. Looks like a lot of. Well, there's some sci-fi in here, I suppose. Who was it that I thought was in this? A lot of cool stuff. Like I said, I really wish that I could just read everybody's things. Is it weird that when I was sick, like I didn't really do much reading? You'd think that's when that would there it is, Deathbringer. That's what it was, by Blake Carpenter. Nice. Just keep scrolling just in case. I thought there. Oh, and in Darkness Cast. Oh, perfect. Yes, I was going to talk to you about that too. Okay, good. We'll do that next then. I want to make sure that I'll make sure that I get that right away then. Oh, I thought I was at the bottom. Oh my goodness, look how far up I am still. Dawn of the Black Sun by Tim O'Burnham. I think I have that one, but I haven't read it yet. I'm excited to. I keep seeing like covers that almost look like people I recognize. Like I saw one back there that reminded me of oh no, I'm not gonna remember his name. Oh well. Let me pull up. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so Deathbringer. I did a fun new cover reveal with him. That was a lot of fun. Did an interview that you can watch on YouTube, and I also did a written interview with him for the website. Maybe a little bit more focused, not so many rabbit trails. So if you guys are interested in hearing more from him specifically about the book, you guys can check that out. Dark Sword and Sorcery, Necromancy and Revenge, featuring a talking sword, gas lamp setting, and gory action. So I learned that gas lamp is the specifically the fantasy version of steampunk, which I never bothered to figure out before. I was just like, well, steampunk is steampunk, but apparently people care to keep them separate. Okay, whatever. I'll change it to gas lamp, and I'll leave the tag the way it is. And then this review I actually submitted to Anvil, so it appeared there first. It was fun, really fun. Dark fantasy. And like with the Crimson Spark, I usually define dark fantasy as something that is going to be dealing with themes and situations that really like break down the main character, and not so much like nihilism, right? It's not my thing. I don't really review that kind of stuff because I can't be bothered to read it all the way to the end. So that's what I mean when I say dark fantasy. Get a little bit of moral ambiguity, not so much in the main character herself, but more from her sword. So that's kind of fun. Pretty strong female lead. And I thought that the Gaslamps fantasy setting was kind of lightly done. It wasn't, there weren't long descriptions of steampunky things, but there were, careful details about things like clothing and colors that might be more in the background of other fantasy settings. So, and then of course there's a train, and dirigibles are mentioned. So, and then there was a really interesting element of the matriarchy. The setting is based off of as a sort of like a historical Russian, like not society, but like culture. And Blake did a lot of research and tried to make that feel like real, and I think he did a nice job of making that part feel like part of the world and not like he was trying to make some point about patriarchy or power differences or like anything like that. It just, or like social commentary in general. So, oh, and it was gory. I like gory action. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's fun. Okay. I'm taking my time. I hope you guys don't mind. Michael Caine says, I feel like Deathbringer was in a sale just the other day. That could be. Leslie, thank you. I appreciate it. Michael Caine says it's worth the read. I think he's talking about Timo's book. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, the only other time where when I'm sick, like I just don't want to read. I don't really want to do any thinking. But like I also don't want to get it wrong, right? I don't want to have like the wrong impression of the book just because I feel sick. Because like when you're sick and your brain's not like functioning correctly, synapses aren't it can take you a long time to read one paragraph, and then you feel like that paragraph was ages and ages, and you're like, that description I hate, like, but then if you ever look back on it, it was nothing, right? The only other time that I wasn't able where like I actually like didn't read was just after I had my first baby. And it was actually the Crimson Spark. I looked at the cover and the description, and I was like, this sounds like an awesome book, but it has children in it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Michael Caine says he was actually talking about Deathbringer. Haven't gotten to Timo's yet. Yeah, same. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. In Darkness Cast is also part of this sale. But Jonathan is doing something a little more intentional than just including it in a sale. He's actually doing a promo. So the first Shades of Black book is free until Tuesday on Amazon. He let me know that and I'm going to be doing a news article on this as well, or a tweet if I can't get to that before Tuesday. Already hit #1 in religious fantasy and Christian fantasy, and got as high as number 21 in swords and sorcery. So that's really fun. And the reason that he's doing that is because his second book is going to be coming out here soon. No, I don't have the info in front of me about when that is. Come on. I want to go. Okay, there we go. See if he has made any note of it on his Twitter. Really quick. Afterlight is releasing in June. There it is. Yeah. So In Darkness Cast is on sale now, and Afterlight will be coming out in June. And I got an e-arc of Afterlight, and I'm super excited. I really enjoyed that. Held up, to the legacy of the first one. I don't know if that's the right word that I want to use, but you guys know that I talk about this one a lot because it's got that unique two main characters where one is a paragon and one is an evil sorcerer, more of an anti-hero. And I love their dynamic. Jonathan actually released a short story featuring the two of them in our Periapsis Christmas 2 book. So you guys know that I like his work. In Darkness Cast, sword and sorcery, pretty driving. Yep. About a hero who prays for help and receives an all-powerful and evil sorcerer from another world in answer. Featuring Vikings, cannibals, demon spiders, and a nearly indecent indulgence in the gory dismemberment of evil's minions. That's a great sentence. Well done. The Shades of Black series launches with this first installment. This is why I write my reviews and I have trouble recording them. Because I know that when I write, I can say exactly what I meant. In Darkness Cast has that driving pace, and Afterlight picks that right up. Really great characters, not just the main pair, Gideon and Ashkelon, but all of the characters are wonderfully well done. There's the darkness and light motif, as well as the sort of thematic demons. It's not quite Seven Deadly Sins, but it kind of has that structure to it a bit. And then their followers are sort of crazy and warped by the that sort of thematic element. So hunger, pain, death, they pursue those things intentionally. Discuss the thematic discussion of what a hero is, and then really wonderful thematic thread of faith that is not it never puts the reader into the position of having the characters talk to them, which I like. And I made a note of this in my notes for Afterlight. The conversations that are theological between the two main characters really feel like they're authentically coming from the characters themselves. Ashkelon has a specific view, and you, as a reader from outside, understand that. And so his questions and sort of undercutting remarks don't feel like they are puppeting some atheist position, right? Some of them sound familiar, and some of them are phrased in new ways. So, and then Gideon doesn't seem like the puppet that's answering, right? And has everything worked out. He just sounds like a normal guy who, from his position, is answering someone who is, I don't know if I would say that they're friends necessarily, but someone whose viewpoint he values, and who as a person he respects, and as a teacher. So yeah, this is another one that I'm pretty passionate about. So if you guys have not had an opportunity to read In Darkness Cast, now is a good time to pick it up, because it's free. Okay. I'm waiting for this to load. Mm-hmm. Come on. There it is. Okay. Doug Wise, hi. Thank you for coming. Okay. Let's see what else I've missed. Oh yeah, there's the tweet about, oh, I'm gonna pronounce that wrong. C's. I'm gonna say it's a cerulean. Yes, that sounds familiar. The cerulean flare is available now. April. That was oh, for crying out loud. April 2nd. Definitely excited to read that one. And that is, yes, the final battle of the trilogy. You guys, I really like trilogies. I know people think that sagas are the way to go. I like the trilogy. Okay. Well, that's 2023. So my guess is that's... Oh yeah, and there's the cover reveal for Afterlight. Yes, something that happens in the book. That's always fun. I like that when characters show up on the cover doing things. Is this not in order? Because this is this year. Paul Ritchie has a Kickstarter that's going to be going live in June. This is a children's book, not necessarily fantasy or sci-fi, because it's actually based on something that I think her family does. So pretty cool, like a fawn rescue thing. So the Kickstarter will go up in June. So that's really cool. The latest Anvil magazine is available for ordering, if I'm remembering correctly. I think a whole bunch of people are in it. Let's look. Michael Caine says, trilogy is a good structure. I say while writing a 6-book series. Speaking of, talk about that next. Where did it go? There it is. Come on. Oh, something went wrong. Why is my internet so slow? That's not my internet, it's my computer. Probably because I have a dozen tabs open. Let's see, what can I get rid of? Get rid of that one, that one. Now will you load? Get rid of that one too. Why you be like this? Maybe it would be faster to click on the link. We'll see here. Okay. I have weeded down my open tabs. Let's see if that helps. I was hoping. Let's try this one more time. Come on. Should just wait. Stop clicking around. I can't help myself. Okay. Okay. Lineup has been released. Here we go. All right. The Coldest War. The Helm by TJ Marquee and Ken B. That will be interesting. You guys know I like TJ's stuff. He did, oh, it's not there. He did Bloodbane that I really liked. And he did the Heroes Medal series, which there is another one coming out later this year. Pretty excited about that. And then, of course, he has written for Parapsis Christmas a couple of times now, I think. Okay, who else? MFR, J. Larimore, S. McKendrick, J.M. Gonzalez, J.F. Torkelson, SCW Korsgaard, A. Cosma, G. Cook, H. Santo, and more. I don't recognize anybody except TJ on there, which is interesting. Like the cover. It's cool. I like winter stuff. That's why I live in Wisconsin. In 2029, after a tense political showdown, the Russians attacked the United States. In the one place they're vulnerable, Alaska. Fun. Oh, Paladin Dragoon. Okay. Yeah. Night of the Prowlers. Interesting. I like Anvil. I need to actually do a review, I think, of I have the first two. I didn't get the third one. It just didn't line up time-wise, but That's fun. And you can pre-order via Indiegogo. That's always available through the subscription. Okay. How are we doing? Good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Back in March, once again, these are all things that I should have written articles about, and just because I was sick, everything fell through. This is the third book in N.R. LaPointe's like big series, I think, Meteor series. He does like, I don't know what to call them. Things like the Gun Magus, and the dinosaurs one that I think they're just a little bit shorter and maybe more lighthearted. I'm not sure like how to characterize that. But they just seem a little bit different in tone and seriousness, based on their covers and how he promotes them. So maybe it's all marketing. That's the only thing that is influencing me in that way. But the Raven Miss Creek series, which I have not read, but I've read some of his other stuff. So I like him as an author, and I trust his stuff to be of a certain quality. Where is that? I can pull it up real quick for you guys. If I can find it. There it is. So here's Gun Magus, my review. He's done an updated cover. It's AI art. AI art was a conversation on Twitter, actually. I'm leaving this one because I prefer it to AI art. You guys know how I feel about AI art covers. And I didn't get into it on Twitter, so I probably shouldn't get into it now. But I feel strongly as a reader, from a reader's perspective, someone who is extremely committed to indies as opposed to trad pub. I feel that the product that I'm buying when I buy a book is a complete product. It is not just the words that are inside the story, but the cover and the blurb and the complete picture, right? And if for whatever reason there is a choice on the part of the author to go in a certain direction with the cover, kind of like this one, which is like a photo bash, or like the Raven Miss Creek one, which is more tonally simple, covers kind of more of an like an abstract silhouette type stuff. Like if I have to choose between a set of covers, I'm going to go with something that says to me that the author cared about the complete book, and not just the story. And I don't like AI art, and I don't want to encourage that. I specifically, I have an AI art policy. I have an AI policy for my website, which says that absolutely no AI that is for like the content, right? Like, I think that is absolutely a bridge too far. But as far as the covers, I don't exclude books with AI art covers from the website, specifically because indies are able to change their covers quickly and often do, to experiment with different things. And my greatest hope is that they will succeed well enough that they do go get a cover that is in either using human made art or that they have put together themselves, like the photo bash. That to me, I prefer that kind of crafted feel. It's part of the reason that I buy indies, is because I want to support small creatives. I don't want to support people taking shortcuts. I think the bar is low, and that means that we should exceed it. I'm not really moved by a lot of the arguments on the other end of it, because I'm a reader and I don't care about the other end of it. But the whole conversation on Twitter has just been people who are, it's all the worst actors, right? So people who aren't necessarily giving good arguments for either side. Michael Caine says it was uglier than normal this time. I don't know why. Except, well, I guess I do know why, because it started in the pulp revere circles, who are in general a little bit more aggressive in their idea of the way that social media should be used. Abrasive. So yeah, Gun Magus is one that by N.R. LaPointe that I have read. So like I've said about some of the other authors, I trust him to turn out stuff of a reasonable quality. So if you are interested in the Mist Creek story, I would encourage you to check that out. Michael Caine says both sides were ugly. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. Yeah, like I said, it was all the, like, on both sides. It was just people whose arguments were just not compelling and or wrong. Okay, let's see. Okay, now that's an old one. Old. Oh, this was cool. This was back in January. And I don't know why. Why did that happen? That's interesting. Brought me back to the top. Lolo from Lolo's Art did internal art for Alexander Helene's books, the Swordbringer series. So that's cool. He did the covers, which are fantastic. If you haven't seen physical copies of these books, The colors are just fantastic. It's just not comparable on the screen. Very cool. Oh, and he said that there's an omnibus on the way. Nice. And it's already crowdfunded. So yeah, that's fun. Now it's taking me back to the top. What am I going to do here? Well, it wasn't that far. Okay. See if there's anything else from... Okay, that's last year. It was shuffling them earlier. Well, there's the cover for Opal Embers. 2 new characters in that book. It was fun. I enjoyed that. Okay, I think I've got all of that. But I wanted to make sure to talk about Michael Caine's stuff. Because the 5th book of After Moses is coming in May 7th. After Moses Sanctum. And I'm going to be doing a cover reveal article for that as well. I'm really excited. And that will be releasing on paperback and ebook, and hardcover will come shortly after that. I have to wait for the hardcover because all of the ones that I have are in hardcover. So it's fun. And this is book 5 of 6. Yeah. Cool stuff. I will pull up my review of After Moses. Love that cover. Love it. An engaging space western featuring a gunslinging captain, a crumbling solar system civilization, and colorful villains. I like how it takes place in our solar system as opposed to like the entire galaxy or universe with galaxy hopping. It's fun in kind of a like, oh, it's our own backyard kind of way, where it's like, oh, I know Jupiter, right? Like, just feels more manageable and like a kind of a almost like a nostalgia feeling. I really liked the characters in After Moses. I compared it to Firefly. And I think that when I was typing out my review, like I ended up cutting like a whole bunch of me being mad about Firefly. All of the characters are likable, which is refreshing, right? Matthew, who is on the cover, like has a genuine faith, and the female character who is strong and can hold her own, right? She still respects him and is not rude. And I liked the brother-sister pair that they're children. I think he's like a teenager. And it was able to not be weird about things. Like Firefly was weird about everything. Interpersonal tension is focused on like the hidden pasts of the characters instead of like their like romantic entanglements. So that's fun. I really liked the pacing of it as well. And it felt a little episodic, but then like, you know, with a build, it felt very much like things were being were moving in a particular direction, with still like if this was a book that you wanted to read a little bit at a time, like there would be like a manageable bit to read that had like a more of a miniature arc. It was fun. That's not how I read books, but some people do. I just read them all in one sitting. It was a really nice thematic faith thing going on. Okay. Michael Caine says, I make an effort to make the locations fairly realistic, even if I take liberties elsewhere, because our backyard is cool. It is. 12 and 17. Okay. For the kids, sorry. That's their ages. Okay. Just want to make sure that I got everything. I think I did. Because everything else is old. Old. I should go through and unbookmark all of the old stuff. So that I'm not searching through my bookmarks every time I want to find something. Okay, I'm going to close this, close this, close this. Oh wait, don't close that. Okay. Okay. 10:40. Things that I plan to do. I always plan to do videos where I pre-record, edit, and then post them, because that's good YouTube practice. But I don't have when I have time to sit down in front of the camera that I'm streaming. So I will still try to make an effort in that direction. Because you guys know that my priority is reading and then writing reviews of what I've read. And I have trouble dedicating time to other things. Something that I thought would be fun was looking at other people's reviews of books that I've reviewed and talking about like where they differ and what I think about their points and if I agree or disagree. I thought that would be fun. So I probably will do that. Maybe a pre-record, maybe I would just stream it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Going to be doing the Legos with David, possibly on his channel for a little while we're doing the spaceshipy one. What's this? Galaxy Explorer. That's what it is. Because that's very thematically on point for his channel. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, it's a lot of fun. He does a lot of code and building ships and doing interesting things. And he's been doing project updates. They've been, I don't know that they've been super regular, but he's been intentional about sharing what he's been doing and what he's, and like showing the cool things that he's working on, making progress with his project. So that's fun. I'm intending to do a couple of author interviews coming up soon. um, oh, that's another thing that came out. Oh. Let's see if I can pull this up. Oh, too far. The Unwilling Goddess, which is the sequel to Made in His Image. This was earlier this year. Let's see where it's at. Yeah, you can buy it now. So let's see. Came out March 1st. Very fun. Planet busting sequel to Made in His Image. So Made in His Image by Jeff Stoner is this, I call this sexy space adventure. Cast of likable characters, detailed sci-fi setting, and just did a lot of things right. It's another one, kind of like the After Moses series, where you've got people on a spaceship, right? Kind of a mixed cast of characters. He did a really interesting opening. I've read so many like beginnings of sci-fi books that have like this, two people on opposite sides of the table going to make a deal to transport people or cargo or whatever. It's like, again, this one was really good. I appreciated it. He didn't push the characters into like being cool. You just felt like he was his own character. Like he didn't have to be Han Solo or whatever. There's the action, it like moves through the meeting in such a way that is like emotionally charged, instead of like everyone trying to be like too cool and relaxed. That can really slow things down, I feel. And there wasn't any like cringe. Main character is competent, and then just like really nicely built out cast. Even though like the main character is this Agent Largo, Reyna, who's the female character, is the one that the story revolves around, which always makes for something interesting when you have the character that's not the one who is like the mover and shaker necessarily, but who is still a compelling character in their own right. You get to see his interpretation of her instead of having everything be from her perspective. I called it hard sci-fi in like the descriptions and stuff, because the mechanisms are sometimes not like explained in detail, but they have meaning, which is fun. And he did it really well, in a way that, like, you started with, oh, here's like a sci-fi word for this engine, and then like you as a reader are like, well, that's a sci-fi word for the engine, and then as the story builds, you learn more things about the sci-fi engine until you come to a place where you understand it in a way that impacts the narrative. Well, that's fun. And it was sexy, and there was really a very interesting female character that was done in such a way that she is her femininity is inescapable in a way that was not lecturing or like making some sort of larger social commentary about women, right? It was her. And because the main character is not her, but Agent Largo, you never felt like she was like a Mary Sue or like overpowered or whatever. Like, she is overpowered. like the unwilling goddess should give you a clue, right? But because she wasn't like our viewpoint, like our main viewpoint character, it didn't feel like Rey from Star Wars or any of the other, like Captain Marvel or anything. And then I got into spoilers because some really cool things going on thematically that were tied to the narrative. So, okay. Leslie Shue reviewed Mouse, and I also read and reviewed the next 2 books in that series. That was great. I'm so happy about that. And then she and Michael Caine both left. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate you guys being here and chatting with me. Okay. I think that I've talked about all of the things that I've been meaning to talk about for ages now. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to get back into stuff. I would like to do another big book haul of indie books. I've done a couple of videos, $100 worth of indie books. I'm going to do another one of those sometime soon. And do some other cool, fun things as I hopefully continue to feel better. And just wanted to get back into it and talk to you guys about books, which I love to do. So sorry if this was rambly. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, and I just wanted to jump back into the stuff. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. I hope everybody has a great night. Bye.